Hello and welcome to Driving Double Feature Podcast. I'm Nathan,
I'm Ryan.
and this is the podcast where we talk about two movies a week every Tuesday and Thursday. But before we get into today's episode, I want to talk to you about our Patreon. If you head over to patreon.com/Driving Double Feature Podcast, you get fun conversations, stuff like that, just for $5 a month, and you help support this podcast. But none of this main show content is locked behind there. Kind of like how what it would be like to be locked behind a trap in a Saw movie, right? Wouldn't that be like Jigsaw locks you in a room for a year and it's like you have to live without listening to the Drive-In Double Feature Patreon, and then I don't think anyone can survive that. That's just
Oh my,
that's the worst torture imaginable. Put me in the bear trap, please.
I mean, if that were true, think of how many dead people there'd be in the world because it,
I know it would be terrible. I mean,
it would be like, it would be what, like us two, and then like our deaths, and then just like everyone else in the world's dead.
yeah, just the whole world is wiped out. Jigsaw, well, and Jigsaw, because Jigsaw loves his DIDF. He listens to it when he makes his machines and everything. I
Oh
like to
yeah.
think Amanda's a fan too.
Mm-mm.
While she's buying her next fix. Um,
Hoffman's not. He's not a fan.
oh God, no, he would be dead. I would hope Hoffman. Ugh, I spit on Hoffman. Oh my God. I don't know what I'm doing. But today we're talking about 2008's Saw 5. This one has a new director, David Hackle, and this will actually be his one and only directed Saw movie. He was the production designer on the past. He was the production designer on 2, 3, and 4. He got the directing spot for this one. Um, a lot of returning characters here. Costas Mandalore, who as Hoffman, Tobin Bell as Jigsaw is back, even though he's still dead. People, he's still he's still dead, but he still shows up in these movies. Agent Strom returns, the cop from the end of the fourth one, and technically the end of the third one too. So it's all come together. What's nice about Saw 5, if I can give it one thing, is that it actually at least feels like a continuation, right? Like Saw 4 ended and it was like, oh my God, we've just been going over the same plot this whole time. Saw 5 at least like, it does jump off. Like it does at least continue the plot forward a little bit.
It, yeah, I guess you could say that.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. Um, so I guess I'll say so Saw 5, I saw this one in the theater. And they were actually holding something called Saw Fest. So it was you watched every Saw movie leading up to the fifth one's release. And me and my dad went to it. We sat in the theater and we watched all the Saw movies up into the fifth one that at midnight. And they had trivia. And guess who won a shirt at trivia that night? I have a Saw 5 shirt.
Somebody else.
No, me. Even though it was 2008, so I was way too young to watch this. I
No.
guess I was 13, and I won my
So wait,
Saw 5 shirt.
did they, so you won like out of everybody?
No, it was literally they asked a trivia question and I got it right. It was
What did they ask? Was it like somebody would ask a trivia question and then somebody would answer and get a shirt, and then they kept doing that, or like,
well, it was like they would it was the guy stood at the front of the theater would ask a question and you literally raise your hand and answer. And he wasn't it wasn't just shirts, it was a bunch of prizes, but I got a shirt which I have somewhere. It's in my closet somewhere. I don't know. It's very small. It was small for me then. I was a chubby little kid and they gave me a damn medium and I couldn't fit into it then, so I just have this shirt.
wow. Uh,
Yeah.
what was the question?
It was what was the catchphrase for or the tagline for Saw 3? Or one of the saws, but the answer was there will be blood. Yes, there will be blood. Which is funny because there will be blood. But yeah, that was the answer. Yeah, that was a saw
Oh
head.
wow.
And then I
Yeah,
got
you're
the
like, um, you're just
um
like, yeah,
pushed up my glasses. I
actually,
I know what that is. But then I watched Saw 5 and I hated it. I remember leaving the theater and being like, that one sucked. Like, wow, this one stunk. And I gotta ask you, was that your same feeling? Because you said this was your last Saw movie.
yeah. So this is back when I was working at Blockbuster.
Hmm.
I didn't see Saw 5 in theaters, but because I was like, well, we're gonna get on DVD here at some point, so whatever, I'll watch it then. So I watched it then. Uh, I did not like this one at the time, and it was so bad where I'm just like, screw this like I just didn't care like at that point. I was like, I really do not care about the series anymore.
Yeah, it was and I can get that. Luckily, I mean, I was still a fan. I still stuck around, but I was definitely like really turned off by this one because this entry it, it's hard to put in the words. It's so story focused. It is focused on the cop plot like crazy. It is all about Hoffman. Strom
Hmm.
is on the case. I guess I should say how it opens is Strom. It's after four, and he moves on, and he's in his own test. And he ends up getting caged in this like head case, and it fills up with water, and it's gonna drown him. And then he takes a pin that stupidly was left on him, and it creates like a tube in his neck, so he's able to breathe even though there's water in there. The idea is Hoffman, who we know is Jigsaw now, now that Jigsaw is dead, is setting up traps to kill people so he could look like a hero. Because at the beginning, there's a trap with a pendulum, and that's the guy who killed his sister, and he built a trap just to kill him. He won the trap, but it killed him anyway. So Hoffman's using this for nefarious reasons, which once again is Jigsaw can't pick right people because Amanda can't do it right, and neither can Hoffman because as we learn, Hoffman is like a protege to Jigsaw. We get a little more in depth into that. Um,
But that was revealed, or we do want to say that now, that
yeah,
it's
go ahead.
technically, well, like that, because that whole opening scene was technically happened before the first movie. So
Yes, yeah.
really, so really, we find out Hoffman has been employed by Jigsaw this whole time,
It,
like since like the dawn of these movies have happened.
It's actually kind of nuts how deep they get into the story because they show a flashback to Saw 2 where Hoffman and him are making the gun at the door. And I love this part because it's so silly because Hoffman's like, well, how do you predict it? And he's like, oh well, if you predict the human mind, nothing of chance ever happens. And it's like, oh my God, that's how they explain how everything goes right.
So my biggest complaint about this movie is just how stupidly clairvoyant Jigsaw is. It's just like,
He's like a
I mean,
god now.
we complained about it the last movie too, where it's just like he's like, okay, so Strom is I'm gonna put him in a trap. He's gonna escape out of that trap, but then he's gonna track me down to this warehouse where I'm gonna set up a trap for him. I need to make sure that he throws me into the trap and he doesn't go into the trap himself, and he'll die. And I'll set him up for all the murders too.
Yes, yeah, because that's how it goes at the end of the movie. We'll just there's like another cop guy who takes over the Jigsaw case because they're like, oh, there is another killer out there. There's a Jigsaw like copy, and maybe not a copycat, but just like an accomplice. And then in the end, it's all set up as Strom. So it's like, oh, Strom did it, so Hoffman doesn't get caught. Um, yeah, and it's so wild because there is a trap. There's a central trap to this movie, kind of like Saw 2, where it's a group of people working together to reach a common goal. And I remember why I didn't like this movie the first time was because that was so not the focus of the movie. That the main traps are so boring. What makes Saw is the traps and watching people get out. Why is this one so unfocused on its trap plot?
I mean, like this one, like you notice, like if they had cut this whole like 5-person trap thing out,
Hmm.
it it wouldn't have it wouldn't have affected the movie at all. Like
No, yeah, yeah.
it has nothing to do with the main plot at all.
Yeah, it is literally just filler. I think Jigsaw at one point said like, "Oh, Hoffman, if you get all these people together, all the everything's going to line. It's all going to make sense." The only thing it does is it sets up Strom to be the one who did it, right? Because his phone is at the desk with the computer monitors when it's
Right.
over. That's it. But otherwise, it has no connection. But they try to set something up because they all are connected to this apartment fire that some people got paid for with bribes, and a junkie burnt it down, got paid for it. And so they're all rich people that did something really bad. It's really weak. It's really weak. That whole thing is just weak. And I remember even in 2008 figuring out like what the twist was here. I think it's not the first one, because the first one there's 5 keys set out, and they each have to run up to get the key one at a time before their heads get cut off. And that's fine. I get it. They all get one key. They thought that that key in front of them was theirs. The next one, there's nail bombs, and then there's tunnels, giant tunnels that they have to hide in from the bombs. And I'm
I
talking
hated this part.
huge, huge tunnels. And even in 2008, I was like, why can't 2 of them fit in one? All five of them, if I were still alive, 4 are alive at this point. All of them could fit in one tunnel.
Every single one of them could fit into one pipe,
Yeah.
and it doesn't make any sense at all. Like I was just like, oh my God, there's only 3 pipes, and like we got to get out of here. There's only 4 or whatever, and then at the very end of the movie, they're like, oh my God, like we could have more than one person could have fit in those pipes. Like, yeah, no shit. Like it's that there's
Yeah.
so much room.
Which is so funny. It's the Saw music's playing. It's the big twist reveal. It's like, we could have fit in one pipe. Oh my God. All these traps we could have all lived through all of them. We were just so cutthroat. It's so bad because, I mean, we might as well go through this plot because it's so inconsequential to the rest of it.
Mm.
The next room after that is they all have to be electric shocked together to open a door, but they think like, oh, we have to murder someone, put them in the bathtub in order to get like, to have the electric current go through them. But they all could touch each other and have it go through each other. Once again, how did you not see that? And then the last room is like the big reveal where it's like a bunch of boxes with a saw, and they have to fill up 10 pints of blood in there. And basically, they have to do 5 pints, and the other person does 5 pints, which is really low amount of blood. So they pretty much lose all their blood for this final trap. Now, these are the main traps. And did any of those sound fun to watch? Interesting, creative, fun? No. So that's what
No.
sucks about this one is the central thing in the movie is just weak. And obviously they're focused on the story, which is cool. To me, Saw is all about the story too. Like you got to have that connected, how everything works together. It's got to be a little convoluted. That's just how these movies are. But you can't forget what makes these movies truly interesting.
It's just super weak, in terms of plot, in terms of relevance to the story. Because I mean, like it's supposed to be like this whole thing, like of them like, oh, they should have been like unified and as a team or
Mhm.
whatever, and
There's no
and
I in team. That was the lesson of Jigsaw.
right, and I mean the only relevance is that that has to the main story is that Hoffman keeps telling Strom that he needs to trust him,
Hmm.
and Strom's like, screw you, I'm not doing that. But I mean, like, why would you trust the Jigsaw? It's like,
Yeah.
so I mean that's the only reason why this whole like 5-person thing is in there. But yeah, you see all these traps and you're like, you could just do this and you'll be fine. And like, us as an audience, and it just doesn't, you could excise that whole part out, and that wouldn't have the movie wouldn't have changed at all.
No, which is just like that's a bit of a bummer. So yeah, in between all this is a lot of movie of Strom. He's going from place to place, connecting the pieces that Hoffman is Jigsaw. So he does figure that out. With that, we get a ton of flashbacks to Jigsaw making Hoffman his protege, which is weird to me. It's so weird because he copycats him. And I could tell you that Jigsaw would not be like, oh, you know what, buddy? You need to work with me. I really don't think Jigsaw would be that way with a copycat person. So what he does is he puts him in a trap where it's literally just a shotgun to his neck. And if he moves, it'll go off. And
Oh,
he
I know. I did want to say though, so like it does flashback because this is like because now like the movie doesn't tell you when it transitions into a flashback at all either.
no.
So because we just see Hoffman walking down a hallway and you still think it's present time, but then he gets in an elevator and then there's Jigsaw like right behind him. There's Tobin Bell.
Hmm.
And it's just funny, like more of the clairvoyance, like, what if Hoffman just like, what, I'm gonna just take the stairs today or something, just like
Well, if you
the
can predict the human mind, you don't leave anything to chance, Ryan.
you would
What
have
of that do you
Jim
not understand?
Hoffman hates stairs. I've studied him how he hates stairs, and
Yeah, he does.
he always
He's always in the
he,
elevator. And there's always
he's the Lord.
there's five guys in the office that get in the elevator at exactly 5:35, and they get off at this floor, so that'll leave us both alone in the elevator. I know he's not getting off anywhere else.
Yeah.
And then Hoffman
Eh,
takes the needle from this old man, by the way.
right. And but yeah, he takes him and he puts him, like you said, like he puts him in a trap with a shotgun. Very simple trap where he's just strapped to a chair and then like a shotgun's pointed at his neck.
Hmm.
And and he says something where he talks about like it's like, well, yeah, well, he killed like I was just killing him back because he killed a bunch of people or whatever. But basically saying because we find out like it was the guy that was in the trap at the very beginning of the movie was the guy that murdered Hoffman's sister,
Yes.
and that was him just like kind of getting revenge. And then like Jigsaw that goes in and he's just like, no, we do not kill. Killing is detestable. And I'm like, hold on a minute, like.
Well, he
Yeah,
doesn't kill anyone, Ryan.
I, I'm just like, I was floored when he said that. I'm like,
It feels
so
wrong.
what you think you've been doing this whole time, like you just think they were just like this innocent, is like, no, they chose to die.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's like their choices make it so they die. No, I thought that line was really bad because he says that like multiple times, like killing's detestable. It's so his logic is so flawed. It's
Well,
kind
like,
of
because
funny.
like earlier in the movies, he's just basically just like, well, if they're not gonna, you know, basically take care of the life that they have, and they don't really deserve the life that they have. They don't deserve life if they're not going to cherish it.
Hmm.
And so that was his reasoning for like, offing those people. But this one, it's like, no, like if they die, it's because they didn't want to live bad enough.
Yeah, I think.
And
Do you think it's like they're trying to make the character because they realize who the star of this movie is? It's Jigsaw. That's the reason he's still in these movies after he died. They're trying to make him maybe a little more likable as a character, like a little more relatable.
I get like an anti-hero or something like that. But,
Yeah.
he kills because, he has killed like good people before, or, or at least like,
Mm.
but I mean, like if you put two people in a game, like the one, I think it was four or was it three?
Are you talking
But
about the
when,
one with the chain in the middle and they fight out over
yeah,
each
like
other? That's
they're doing
four.
like a tug. Yeah, they were doing like the tug. Like, how could you like one person has to die? There was not one scenario where both of them could have lived.
No, they could have lived. There was a key, right? Like if they did it quick enough, if blind man goes, "Hey, if someone in here can you tap the floor if your mouth is sewn?" And then he taps the floor.
All
And
right.
then blind man's, "Okay, I think I have a key on my
Okay.
neck. Come over here, get the key and we'll unlock
Well,
each other." That's all it took. They just don't care
well,
their life.
what about the one with the Amanda? Like the very first one with Amanda, she had to murder a guy to get the
Okay.
key out.
That one I have no excuses.
Like,
That one is so that trap, which is one of the most is the most iconic one in this movie or in all of these movies. It has that flaw of, oh, Amanda had to like murder some random guy on the ground. I forget if they explain that later. Because one weird thing about this movie is they explain the guy in the first one who's in the barbed wire. So there's a really quick scene in Saw 1. I don't even remember if we brought it up, where there's like it's a large dude and he has to escape through barbed wire, and he dies because he gets all cut up. They explain how Hoffman and him uh got this guy into that trap. He's like in a car, like angry, gonna kill himself, and they fight him. That's so unnecessary. Like they're seeking to just explain every little thing.
To me, it's like they're clearly just creating these scenes just to give Tobin Bell more screen time.
Yes, yeah, because he's like the one shining light in these movies.
So like, because I mean, his character's dead. His character's been dead for 2 movies now.
Mhm.
So it's this the only way they can give him more screen time is with flashbacks.
Yeah,
So I, and one thing too, so like they go through like this whole scene of them doing that with the barbed wire thing. Now the police did find the barbed wire man, and
yeah.
they're like, oh yeah, like here he is. You don't think like that? Why did they leave the trap up? Like because he goes back there and like the trap is still up, and they're just
I
like,
thought the same thing.
I'm like, don't you think the police would have like dismantled that or something, or
Yeah, because
they
it's been
just
years since that one.
right? They just like left it up as a shrine to the to the Jigsaw.
Yeah, it's so weird. They left that up. He goes back to multiple crime scenes. He goes back to the place where Saw 3 ended, where the doctor set up. That's where he like figures everything out. And yeah, none of this has been cleaned up or anything. It's goofy, but it all comes together in the end. Because Strom gets set up, and then Strom also dies. There's this really elaborate trap with a glass case in the middle, and there's two walls like that can close in. And Strom thinks that the trap is getting in the box, so he forces Hoffman to get in the box. But guess what? That's where you were safe, in the box, and the walls close, and Strom gets crushed to death. And that's how the movie ends. The movie just ends after that. He gets crushed, and it's like, all right, bye. It's the most depressing ending.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I was like, screw this series, because I was just like,
Yeah,
they just end it like I'm like they just ended it like that, and then just because at no point was Jigsaw like ever in danger or like was he ever like
no.
it, nobody ever got the best of him or nobody. It just like he was just like this ultimate like god that could
Hmm.
just think about exactly how these people were going to react, and he already had like because the whole time he kept telling Strom like you need to trust me, you need to trust me, like
Hmm.
follow the instructions like how you're supposed to, and Strom never did, so that's what he did, like so you notice, so like, because when he goes to the glass case, he takes the tape recorder
Hmm.
and he hits the button and he's like, oh, like you gotta get in this glass case or whatever, and it's gonna be painful. And Strom's like, no way am I doing that. And then after him and Hoffman have like a fight, he
Hmm.
throws Hoffman into the glass case. And then he goes back to the tape recorder and hits play
Yeah,
again,
because
and then
he
it's like
paused.
you and he's like, oh, if you get in there you'll be totally safe. And it's like, so if he like Hoffman knew that Strom was gonna just like stop listening to the recording like right away. Like
Oh, also, I don't understand that trap at all. Because like what would have Hoffman done if he got in the glass case? Would he have been like, okay, I'm gonna let you live? I highly doubt he would have gotten the glass case, would have gotten out, and he would have been killed. Like he would have at least been shot or something there at the end. Like I really don't see that going anywhere else.
like if Strom had gone into the box and then like Hoffman would just not, oh shit, like like wait, like
That's no, that's not how this was supposed to happen.
and then he gets crushed by it.
Yeah, I mean that would be more interesting because it would be more like, oh, Hoffman couldn't predict people and how they would act. Only Jigsaw
That
really had the smarts for that.
I mean, I haven't. So this is like I said, I haven't seen the rest of them, so I don't know how it happens. But I think that would have been a really cooler ending if he had just been like,
Hmm.
"Oh, like you can't predict everything that a human does, or something." Like sometimes
Oh
humans are
yeah.
unpredictable, or something. That would have been kind of cool. But
Wow, you're smart. Smarter than the people who wrote it.
but it's just like, no, we got to have this because we need more Jigsaw movies because and it ends on like I guess, a cliffhanger if you want to call it that. But
Yeah, pretty much Hoffman's still at large, and we get his backstory because they're really trying to push him. He's the next Jigsaw. And I think maybe that was their answer to try to get Tobin Bell out of these movies, which of course they're not going to do. That Tobin Bell's still. Have you seen the poster for Saw 3D? That they're building a
yeah,
statue of him,
right. No,
which
I remember that.
when we get to that movie, it's that I actually really like that scene where the whole group of people get together to build the giant statue of Jigsaw. It's actually really cool. The 400-foot tower of Jigsaw.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. But
Well,
that puts a wrap on this one. I hate to say it, I liked it a little better than I did last time because I'm a little I mean I have so much bias and I'm putting that out. I kind of just have fun with these movies, but I do know this is a bad one. I know that this one is not this movie has no accessibility. If you had never seen a Saw movie, you couldn't watch this movie. It would make zero
imagine,
sense what was going on. I know the
yeah,
other ones are kind of like that, but this one especially.
oh my God, imagine if you jumped in at this one, you'd have like no clue.
It would be so confusing. The it's definitely I think going from this, we'll see how 3D is, but this is the weakest one of the bunch. It is just very thoughtless. It feels like a yearly franchise where this one they just let pump one out. Just get one out this year. It doesn't do very much.
Yeah, it feels very much just like uninspired
Yeah.
compared to the other ones. I mean, already it's starting to feel like they're just really trying to pull stuff, like they're running on
Hmm.
fumes already. And it's just,
Yeah.
and we got way a lot more movies to cover. So,
Five more. But they start to
so
space out a little bit.
yeah. So it, it's kind of showing, it's like, okay, it's not as good as it once was, or at least not as exciting, and they're kind of running out of ideas, in my opinion. But
Yeah. Oh yeah.
but like I said, I haven't seen six or seven, so I'm going to reserve judgment. Maybe they get better, but as it stands now, of the five, this one's probably my least favorite out of the five.
So you say consistently has been getting worse. I think you like two better than one, right?
I like two.
Yeah.
Three was not great, and four was okay, I think. But so we'll get
We'll
back to
see.
it when we go to to the final rankings.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's it for this one. But Ryan, remind us, what are we covering on Thursday?
Nathan, we're going back into the Godzilla part of Sawzilla, and we're going to be doing Godzilla versus Mothra, which is streaming on the Criterion channel right now.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to watch that one. But if you want to email us, you can email us at driveanddoubleFeaturePodcast@gmail.com. Also, be sure to check us out anywhere you get podcasts, like, subscribe on YouTube. But until next time.
Until next time.